Hello literature lovers. Today, as you can see, I am discussing one of the greatest mock heroic epic, Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope. So, talking about his life and his prejudices, he was ill health, TB, asthma, headache, and very famous question was asked. He was hunchbacked. So he was really tortured child, according to talk about the nature. So that's what he was, and talking about the period in which era he used to be, and that's the reason why he was hater of women. Talking about his times, that's the era of 18th century and the tradition at that time. You can see in the beautiful portrait how the era was described. And talking about the source, that also created great controversy, how it all happened. Although the picture here is quite violent, but according to Pope, it was not so harsh. It was done in a quick second and more of a kind of heist. So here it is. And although it's very interesting to know that it was based on a real incident, so some mock heroic conventions and how we can describe it. It's talking about it here. It's clearly written. You can understand it by having a look how it all happened, and some of the other conventions that needed to be considered while talking about this epic. So it's really important to know how it all happened, and these are some of the poetic figures and speeches that you should consider, since it is important. It's filled with it, and it's really a treat to read it. So it's filled with literary devices, and it's so good that you can feel the language. And according to, since he belonged to that neoclassical age, so language was really important for Pope, and he also considered it. And it's a very famous line by him that there is nothing new that I have to tell. It's just the way of saying it that matters. So according to him also, it's quite compared with Paradise Lost, but it's in a mockery and comical manner, we can say. But it's done quite gracefully. That's the real gist I can get from Pope's work. It's really good and expresses it, which really helps. And talking about the summary, that is also important, since it's really big. It's kind of epic, and we all know that it's a very famous thing. That's all how it started, and you can feel it, how it all began. And first canto, it's divided into cantos. Firstly, it was only 2 cantos, and later on he added 3 by the request of the original person, original Belinda, if I can say. So you can see the picture is there. And talking about the second canto, what happened all there, it's part of it, and it's really, this is part of that party and picture, and you can see. And from there the canto third begins, talking about the card of games that all happened, and this is that self and that supernatural things that have happened, talking about the canto 4 and the things related to it that happened. The fifth canto talks about that Claisa's speech. That's all the topics related to it. And In the final portrait shows that clip of hair turned into a star. And talking about the writing style, as you can see, I have already discussed about it, and the characteristics are there, so it's quite understandable how it happened to be, and we are almost part of it. And some of them are there, since similes and epitaphs are important part of it. And another thing that was asked in continuous process is the mock epic related to it. It's asked really repetitively, and it's quite differentiated. It's kind of so great that everyone should take it into consideration. That's why this book is really recommended by all literature lovers. It's a treat to have a look at it, and I myself have taught so many students, and almost of all of them have really loved it and asked me again and again that I should repeat all the things related to it. And almost, or I can see that because of the title, it's quite captivating, and most of them are asked for it. And whenever I start teaching this topic, most of my students, I always get something new while teaching it. So I hope you will also get something new after whenever you study and consider it, all the points related to it. And it's really just, and you can see the all these other symbols related to it. I hope you will really get help from all these works and increase your literary skills related to it. Thanks for listening. Thank you.